Hello, everyone. It's Lali here, and we have amazing guests today with us. Psychotherapist Dr. Foojan, who's the author, researcher, and creator of AIT method. Welcome to the studio, Dr. Foojan.
Hello, Lali. It is so nice to be with you.
Hello, thank you for being with us. And we had wonderful discussion last time. We described AIT and how it helps families and couples. I would like to go a little bit deeper and unfold how it can benefit so many people around us.
Of course. There, one of the most important factor is that we take a skill that we have through the awareness integration therapy and theory, and we take that skill into different aspects of life. So, for example, if you're looking at your intimate relationship and your marriage, well, how I have started working is for each person to really look at what do we think about our mate. What I've noticed, Lali, is sometimes when we, at the beginning of the relationship, everything about them is amazing, right? Like they can't do anything wrong. We are going to see them as the best thing that has ever happened to us, and that's why we want to be with them. And then after the honeymoon stages goes away a little bit, kind of like reality shows up and we see the package. Oh, okay, these are all the greatness that they have. Now they all, these things I don't like. So we look at the similarities and first bring them up and make them into a huge deal. And then we'll see the differences. And you're like, I don't know. And then if we get into conflict, sometimes I've heard the couples that I've seen that we make the other person like a monster in our head. And everything we see is negative, and almost we'll make all the positive little and then the negative, sky high. So that you could see at that point the relationship is going down the drain, and probably even if they're married, they're going to go toward divorce. So what I've noticed is that as I take responsibility and accountability about how I'm thinking, what kind of a monster do I create, or what kind of like this angel that I create that can't do wrong, which is not part of reality, and come to terms with what are the things that were similar and not similar. How do I feel? What are all my assumptions that maybe I think my mate has toward me, and I'm reacting toward them, but I never actually check out and see how do they think of me and feel about me. They might do a particular thing, and because of my assumption, I might see them worse or better, and never coming back and saying, all right, well, I saw that you did this. Could you tell me why you did this so that I can understand my mate better? We kind of lose interest because we figure this thing in our head and then we become righteous about it. So we watch our behavior now go towards, I already know he's going to say this or she's going to do that. And I live in a reactive mode in my relationship. What I've noticed with AIT is that we bring an open communication. If every person becomes responsible and accountable for what they bring into the relationship, what skill they bring, if they say they want to bring love and respect, how are they bringing it? If they're asking for love and respect, how are they requesting it? Are they requesting what they need, or is it most of the time kind of like demanding or complaining or nagging or, telling them that they're not good enough for not giving them something? So being the responsible party to see what I want, how I can request it, how I can bring what I want into the relationship to kind of like role model. And those make a relationship and the communication better and goes back and forth and brings the relationship into something that is in between us versus just my own head and my own world and my own fantasy. And then when we come together and kind of create a couple's mission statement, a couple's guide, like the two of us will come in together and sit down and say, what is it that I really want, how I want it, and can I commit not only to give you what I want, but also commit to request what I want. And we both commit to this beautiful kind of a vision that we have about our future. And after that, we create that vision, then I promise to act upon it. And this way, we create an intentional coupling, kind of intentional relationship. And we have a guideline in what to do and how to do it because we created together and committed to it.
That's beautiful. And I have a question. Is there a possibility to live happily ever after for all life in happiness and joy? And if yes, let's say how AIT can help it or improve it, make it even better?
That's a great question. Can we live happily ever after? I believe so. But sometimes I think that when we think happily ever after is as if we're going to be in a world that promises us to give us everything that we've ever wanted to live happily ever after. That's not the truth. The world is the world. It's going to have its ups, it's going to have its downs, and it's going to have its cycle. So the happiness that we talk about with a lot of the research that has happened is how we give meaning to what is, how we bring resilience to all the issues that are there, and how would I be willing to look at the positive aspects in the midst of the negativity, to endure, to pull through, to live as is. And I think that that's what the concept of happily ever after is. So by being aware of how I'm thinking and what I'm doing and what my intention is, obviously I make it more functional for myself and intentional to keep my happiness. There's a lot going on in the world that we can be unhappy about. And sometimes, in a short term, we could get angry, we could get displeased, we could, be sad, and rightly so. These are all appropriate emotions for what happens across the world or within our surrounding. We're human. We're not potatoes. We're human. We're going to have the ups and downs of the emotion. That's the beauty that we can create with experiencing our emotion. But happiness as a bigger concept is something which is, it has to do with our attitude about what's happening. So we'll go through the range of emotions and kind of like land in looking at overall, it's all good. Overall, I can look at those aspects of myself and see how it's great. One of the ways to do it, and we suggest, is as you journal about your day and look at the way that you showed up in the world, right? You usually look at the way that the world shows up for me. And then if it's not to my expectation, I'll be really pissed off. But how about how did I show up for the world? How did I get up in the morning? What did I do? How was I for other people? And if there were, ups and downs, how did I create it? Did every behavior that I do, was it toward benefit of all and betterment of all, or was it toward, some sneaky way of getting back to someone, to revenge, or winning something? So as I become more responsible and accountable for me, I could watch the world and around me and co-create it. And that could make me very happy because I'm part of it. I'm not a victim. I don't take a victim stance, right? I'm part of the world that I consistently co-create. Doesn't mean I won't get disappointed, but it means I'll get disappointed, I'll fall down, I'll go like this, and I'll get up again and look at, what else can I do in order to make it better for myself. And those are the aspects of what I would call happily ever after. Even within relationship, the relationships are going to have a lot of ups and downs. How can I coordinate? How can I sit down? How can I have an authentic conversation? How can I be interested and care for my mate? How can I share with my mate without putting them down in what I need and authentically request and ask for it with a lot of love? How can I forgive if something did not show up well? And share and forgive and, come back with my compassion and love. Those are the aspects that really creates this long-term umbrella of happiness.
Beautiful. And I know you help thousands and thousands of couples to overcome the divorce and difficult periods of their marriage. What would be the advice you would give to couples who are facing the divorce stage in their life now?
Divorce is okay for some couples. Sometimes we chose the wrong person, or sometimes we did not do all the right things in the beginning of the relationship, and we really damaged the relationship in a way that's at times it's not, we can't take it back. And sometimes we just need to cut off our losses, and divorce might be a good thing. But the point is that even if we get a divorce, or even if we choose to be in a relationship, the quality of the relationship that we hold with another human being, it has to be for the betterment of both of us, for love and care for both of us. So if somebody I chose to love and came to my life, can I keep that kind of the love and acceptance, which is, can I get to know them? Am I interested to knowing them versus interested in, let me just get them here in my life and change them? It's not about changing another human being. It's about accepting. Now, we both are going to change throughout the course of time because that's inevitable. We're going to grow. We're not going to be stale in any position. But it's a different to say, I don't accept you as who you are. And for me, you have to change versus we're two different human beings. Let's see how we could co-create a life together with the utmost level of respect and love toward each other and authenticity and integrity. And when we hold those concepts of authenticity and integrity and love and compassion, then we can create an amazing relationship. It could go through ups and downs. People can change, people can shift in different ways, but we can always come back together with respect. And even if we decide at one point in our life that our lives has to go a different way, we can still do that with love and respect. And it does not have to be a vicious, apart, getting apart. Some people live for 60 years, Lali, in the same relationship, and they're vicious together. And some people, go apart and become best friends after their divorce. So you can see it's not just the structure, it's more the how we're choosing to hold a relationship as we complete one or as we every day work on a relationship. Only other thing I wanted to add is relationships are dynamic. So just because I came to a relationship and I said I love you and I became married and now I can just relax and don't do anything, doesn't work. Every single day, there's work to be done on yourself in a relationship and within the construct of the relationship for that relationship to flourish every day because we're dynamic human being. Every day we're different than the day before. And if I assume that my lover or my mate is an object that doesn't change, or I'm an object that doesn't change, we're not being true to ourselves. We're a dynamic human being that's constantly changing. So every morning when you wake up, you can tell yourself, ooh, I'm excited to learn who I am, and I'm excited to learn who my mate is. And then we can create this day together until we go back. And then at night we can look at, who was I today? And who was he or she today? And sleep well and wake up in the morning and commit again to that inquiry and creation.
So beautiful. Thank you very much for this wonderful discussion and all the tips that you gave to us. And we had an amazing day. Thank you for being here. And for our viewers, I would say, please stay tuned. We have amazing topics coming up for you.